fucking with that? That's your shit? Why you acting like cool, calm, and collected? Like you don't fuck with CJ out here in these streets.
She is cool, calm,
This is
collected.
episode 25. You can bullshit with rap if you want with my nigga Tweezi, another nigga from my projects. I got Juicy Jalene in the building.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Straight out of the mean streets of
Camden.
8
ball all day.
Nigga saying you from Pine Hill. Somebody text
Yo,
me.
you the only nigga saying that.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm just checking. All right. Okay. Oh, we got a new name. Introducing her new name today.
Hey, here we go.
What is it?
Dropping jewels with Jamie.
Hey.
There's no more Jay Santiago. She said it sounded like a porn star, so we dropped it. We dropped that name.
I
It's
ain't getting paid
now
for that.
Juicy Jalene and Dropping Jewels with Jamie. I got my man Tweeze in the building. Tweeze, talk to the people.
What up? You
Yeah,
already know what it is.
That's right. This is episode 25. We going up. I had a great weekend. I interviewed the legendary Young Buck from G Unit. And don't ask me if I asked him about that. You know what? It ain't none of your business. He got us another 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Hey, shout out to Young Buck.
He did 2,000 views in one day. And it's going and moving. And we got another special guest coming to the You Better Not Lie podcast. Another platinum artist. Because I told y'all niggas, I'm from the projects. And you know what that mean? You can't count us out! Sorry, Tweeze.
All right.
I got to get in my bag because they counted us out when we did this podcast. They told us he going to do 5 episodes and quit. We on 25.
Something wrong.
Ew.
Shout out.
All right, so listen, Tweeze, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man.
Listen, thank you to
Feeling
the show.
good.
Thank you for coming to the show. Me and you grew up together. We're going to dive into that later on.
No doubt.
But this is the part of the show where I put some respect on your name. Y'all know what I do, right? Tweezy, Mr. Harrington, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right, cool. Straight out of the mean streets of Trenton. Tweezy is a rapper / trapper, but you ain't rapping no more, right?
Nah.
All right, cool. You done with that.
Yeah.
Business entrepreneur, CEO of Harrington Co. and FLYBOI Clothing, right?
Facts.
My man have been to jail and college.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
How real is that? When you go on the child line and you go to financial aid. That's real shit right there.
I hate
How many of
him,
y'all
yo.
niggas been to financial aid to check on your money, and at the same time you stood in child line and had to stab a nigga and send him to the infirmary? My nigga Tweeze been
Hey,
on both
yo.
sides
I ain't
of the
stabbed
fence.
nobody
I'm
up,
about
but
to
I
say
held
now
it
you're a
down.
murder, like
All right,
a
okay,
murder.
all
I
right.
ain't
cool,
stabbed
that's cool,
nobody
that's cool,
up,
that's
but I
cool.
held it down.
All right,
definitely.
cool. All right, so Tweeze, please tell the people what side of town you jacking, man.
I'm from west side of Trenton. Wilson
Okay.
Haverstack Projects. It's 2 sides.
That's a
You
fact.
got the Roger Garden side.
That's
You
my
got
side.
the Wilson Home side.
Right.
So
Which is
I'm
the
from Mellon
cooler
Street.
side?
We just gonna say your side.
Be
'cause
careful.
I'm gonna keep it
You know we
100.
not from
I'ma
Trenton,
keep
but
it
if
100.
Pillow is from, you know what I mean?
If we talking from the street perspective,
There you go.
and more so,
But you
even
not-
like the artistry perspective, my side. All the real hustlers come from my side of the project.
Come on, Tweeze!
all the real
T-Mac is
hustlers.
from Frontline.
But see, he
All the
that's
mama's
one
boys come
person.
from the other side?
Nah, that's
mama,
not true.
that's frontline.
see, Graham's side of the projects
We
in
frontline.
the
In the early
in
80s.
like the, I say more so the 80s, early 90s.
That's right.
That's where like all the like crack houses was at.
That's right. The trap house.
That's where all the trap houses.
That's
was
when I
at.
got busted in the
He
head
said crack
with
houses.
that,
It
with
really-
that
He was
40
talking about that's
bottle.
where everybody
It
go
really
get high.
started. It really
Right.
started like.
Well, you were
it
4?
really started on EA. We call it Eisenhower Avenue. That's where like a lot of the hustlers from my side of the project started at.
Right.
But then they got pushed around to the Roger Garden side.
Oh, so that's when
Because
it
I
became
used to-
So
cool.
really, so the cool
that's when it
guys
came
went around the
cool,
corner
right.
and then made it, you know
Listen,
what I
let
mean?
me tell you about this nigga. Every time I'm in the P's, he was on the front line.
Yeah,
Where we
yeah,
at.
definitely.
Because he was out there trying to catch all the sales.
Yeah,
Because
that's
our
a fact.
street is where the highway is, the main street.
I'm
You got to
so
come
dead.
through the
So
projects.
basically, they bullied y'all for the
No, they
for,
ain't
the,
bullied.
for your
Nah,
side.
nah,
Nah,
it wasn't
niggas
like
got,
that.
everybody got money together.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
like
And the
that.
projects it's not that big, but I understand what he's saying. He gonna get a credit to his side. But shout out to niggas like Antoine Brown. Shout out to T-Mac. We gotta pull
definitely.
Tweeze up. He talking about Mellon Street.
Nah.
Got more more money than Oakland.
Now, see, we talking Mellon Street. That's where the big bag boys come
Oh,
from.
see, he gonna talking shit.
That's where the big bag boys come from.
Okay,
that
so
was a
listen.
chump change.
All right, listen. Tell me, what type of upbringing did you have? Same, mom and dad in the home.
My mom and dad, they was together for a while,
right?
And then they parted ways.
Okay,
but I wouldn't diss my dad.
I'm about to say I never met your dad, bro. Was he the original Big 12 in Trenton?
No,
because there was a Big 12 in Trenton.
No,
that wasn't your pop. Okay, all right, cool. So. What's up with your pops today? Is he still with us?
My dad deceased.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. I never met him, but you didn't. So growing up in the P's, you really didn't have him around the time we all knew each other. He wasn't in the home.
he was at home.
He was there. Okay,
yeah, he was at home when we was little kids.
Was he active?
Absolutely.
Like, taking you to the store,
all that,
playing
all
the football.
That. He took care of all 7 of us.
All right, that's lit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So everyone in the city knows you as the name Big 12.
Right.
A.K.A. Tweezy. How did you get that name?
Well, I never gave myself my nicknames.
Right.
The streets gave me my nicknames.
Mm-hmm.
Big 12 come from, I was 11 at the time, and my lunch aide, Miss Emmanuel.
Right.
I was like big for my age, so she started calling me Big 12. She named me after an old school gangster from Trenton.
There you go.
She named me after him. You know what I mean? So everybody started calling me Big 12. Then it went from Big 12 to 12.
Right.
When the R&B group 112 came out, my second oldest sister used to call me 112.
Right.
Then when they started calling the R&B group 112, One Tweezy as a nickname. The streets start calling me One Tweezy. Then it went from One Tweezy to Tweeze. So mostly everybody called me Tweeze or Tweezy now. Yeah.
So how was it being named after a gangster from the city of Trenton already as a kid? You walking around with that nickname. Did that feel like, or you didn't know him at the time?
I didn't know him.
Okay.
I didn't know Big 12. I heard of him.
Right.
Heard he was a big guy. He used to put in work or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know his background. Right. So.
That would not go on today.
Yeah, I never really walked around like, It was
he
what
probably
it was.
would have. That's why he asked.
Right.
No.
He would have been walking around like, yeah, bitch, I'm Big 12.
Listen, the only reason I asked you that is because I remember seeing some articles about Big 12 in the newspaper as a kid.
Right.
So I thought that was your dad. Because I said, why would they call him Big 12? And we got a gangster from Trenton named Big 12. This must be his dad. Okay, all right, cool. So it was just a coincidence. All right. So you and I attended one of the iconic schools in Trenton. For all y'all niggas out there talking about Graham ain't from Trenton. I got a certified project nigga right here.
Right.
That was in my elementary, my first grade.
Right.
Preschool class. This is when we kicked the ball over the fence, the big red ball.
That's right.
I was there when they kicked the ball over the fence.
Ball, stop it.
When y'all niggas talk about I ain't from Trenton, I done had 49 niggas on this podcast from Trenton, and they all got project stories with me. What the fuck is y'all niggas talking about?
Old as hell.
You heard me? So me and Tweeze went to the iconic Stokes Elementary School where Mr. Moore was principal.
Facts.
And we was in the same class. And when they had combination classes, they would put third and fourth grade together.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So tell me what class exactly. Who was the teacher? Because my memory serves me wrong right now.
It's kind of like serving me wrong too a little bit because I know we had Miss Koontz, Miss Parker, first grade. Miss Koontz is third, fourth grade.
That's right.
You know, so I know we had the dude, Mr. Cassioli.
Lit.
When we
Cassioli,
was kids,
only white guy I ever knew.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
Lit. He had the ponytail, little curly hair.
He was cool.
He was a little. Yeah. But you know that's
he definitely was a fruit cup.
Yeah, he was a fruit cup.
Definitely was a fruit
I didn't want to say the word.
He was cool,
but he was cool.
You know, he was a fruit
All right, so give me. Do you remember the classic this? A nigga point to the clock at 3:00. What that meant when we lived in the
you already know what it was, man. 3:00, man. You know, it's time to get busy.
Was you one of them niggas running home? Because I ran home a couple times. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Man.
We know you ran home. We know you did.
I don't know. You remember Stinky? You remember Stinky from the project?
Stinky used to be on some bullshit.
Stinky was a bully.
Yeah, Stinky was a bully.
Yo,
he was a bully.
Shout out to Stinky if he ain't dead.
He was a bully.
This gonna certify me.
He was a bully.
No, I'm just saying, Stinky was one of them type of niggas that you got. Yeah, you got. He was a bully in third grade. Stinky told me one time like this.
He was a bully.
And I looked at the clock and I said,
he was a dirty nigga.
What'd I do?
See, they was dirty. They was dirty. You feel me? So
that's why they used to beat y'all up because they had something to prove.
Right, correct.
Stinky was disrespectful.
His sister was a bully too. His sister Mookie, she was a bully too.
Right. Is Stinky still around?
I ain't see that.
They gonna be right
since
outside.
We was kids.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna shout out to some of the bullies that terrorized me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Rashid McNair.
Ultra Beast.
Let's bring them on the podcast.
Right.
Daddy Boo.
Let's bring them on the podcast.
If you know Daddy Boo, Donald Peterson, Rashid McNair. That's what they called him in the projects. His name was Daddy Boo. He was a light-skinned guy. I never thought I'd be scared of light-skinned guys. But these was notorious niggas at that time. You feel me? I'm talking this talk, and you had to be there.
My nigga Rashid. Shout out to my nigga Rashid on lockdown, man. My nigga Rashid locked down in the feds.
He locked up. You see what I'm saying?
Real G. Yeah.
Real. But like I said, shout out to Rashid. That's my nigga. Like, it is what it is.
Oh, your friends now?
Yeah, the whole Boston.
You just don't want to get beat up.
Word.
And then Rashid had a nerve to grow to be like 6'5" too, so I can't beat him now. But I tried him in the project.
He just naturally gifted with his hands.
That's right. They called him Mike Tyson at the age of 6.
Feel me?
At the age of 6.
I'm talking about he was like 7. They was like this, get him Tyson. I'm like,
you know what I respect? You know what I respected about Rashid? You know what I always respected about Rashid?
Right.
Rashid ain't go after weak dudes. He went after the bully.
That's a fact.
That's what I always respected about him. So if you thought you was a problem, he gonna solve it.
And shout out to Rashid, because he the only nigga I know that came. Look, I'm gonna tell you a story about Rashid that was thorough, right? Rashid came home one day on like work release, like where they take you to clean up in the city. And he ran away.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Rashid.
Yeah,
he ran away with his prison uniform on right in the city. I was like, yo, I heard that in the show. I say, that was gangster. The nigga was cleaning up and then dipped off from all the cops. He in the projects, changed his uniform. They called him, though. So salute to my nigga Rashid, man. This is real shit, though. You couldn't talk about this if I really didn't know that brother. You know what I mean? Because he don't play no games. You hear me? He's a real serious dude. But anyway, so at the same time, Juicy.
So, you might love being from Trenton, right?
I love being from Trenton. Absolutely. I love my city.
But what do you love about your city?
Well,
what's unique about the town?
Well, you want me, okay, I'm going to say this.
Right.
When I remember a lot of things. So when I was a kid, I seen the hustle side of things right in front of my face. It was just Trenton. Niggas had style. Like,
wow. They call this country downstate, though.
Niggas had style. Like, I don't know what motherfuckers be talking about. But excuse me for cursing. Trenton was always known to have style. And jokers they was good with their hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, gunplay ain't come to the later.
Right.
It was like, we gonna get right. But for the most part, it was a lot of like monumental things in Trenton. Like our basketball courts in my project used to be like the Rucker.
That's a fact.
I mean, it was big money games.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jokers was putting 10, 20,000 up betting on games. And then, you had Calwood Park, which is monumental.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would go to the park game. It was so real with the park games. Jokers used to get coolers and have all their drinks in it. Right. Go down to the park, watch all the games, Grand Express, shit like that, Candlelight Lounge.
Right.
And then after that, Stuyvesant, everybody be on Stuyvesant at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
801st.
Just vibing. From the park to the Stuyvesant to the projects, it was just lit.
Right.
It was so live. It was so live out west back then. Like, you ain't really have to leave outside of West Trenton.
Yeah, we had our barbershops.
What was going on right there. The after hours, the Jamaican spot.
Right.
Like, it was there. So, Trenton was fun. You had a lot of things. Like, I never went to the electric playground, but I used to hear about it. I was too young. But that was lit. BT's Lounge.
Father Rocco Park,
all the big shows,
Right.
So K-Solo came down back in the day. You had Rakim came down.
Right.
A lot of stars came through Trenton and performed.
Some of them DJ Clue came and they threw him in the pool.
Some of them got ran up out of
YMCA.
Some of them got ran up out of there, so.
Right. Shout out to my varsity basketball coach watching, Mr. Tyler. Salute, Mr. Tyler, man. I see you on the live, checking in, whatever the case may be.
So question. How old were you when you became an MC?
I started rapping when I was like 10. It was me, Goldfingers, and my man Raheem.
Right. I ain't know Ra had bars.
Yeah, Ra didn't really rap.
Right.
But being that he our brother.
Right.
So we was always mobbing. So
right. So y'all did a little ghostwriting for Raheem?
Nah, it wasn't no
okay.
ghostwriting.
I'm about to fact check Raheem.
Not at all.
Right, so who introduced you to hip hop?
My older brother. Rob.
Rob. Okay.
My older brother, Rob. He the one actually introduced me to 12-inch vinyl.
That's right.
Because when I used to have to go in the house, my curfew was 8 o'clock when I was a little kid. So when I went in the house, everybody was still out front on the porch. So I put the speaker in the window and I had like LL, Albie, Coogee Rap,
Talk your shit,
Salt
Tweeze.
and Pepper, the Juice Crew, all them Big Daddy Kane, all them rappers that was out back then. I just put the vinyl on and play the records, and everybody be like, "Play this, play that."
Right.
So they all inspired you.
Yeah,
oh, that's dope.
definitely.
That's what's up.
Definitely.
All right. Since 9-3, I've been chasing paper. I started with a gram.
Oh man.
A fiend taught me how to shave.
Oh man.
I made a few sales and stepped it up from a half to a O in 3 days or so. On a run like this, can't be moving slow. What you know about pulling all-nighters? Tell me about that. Those was his bars from one of his records. So I want to specifically talk about the line. I started with a gram. A fiend taught me how to shave it. Like, so is when you said in 9-3, that would make you around 13, 14 years old.
Correct.
So is that the first time you came off the porch hustling?
No.
Okay.
About 91.
Right.
This is what I did. I had a Super Nintendo, a regular Nintendo,
Right.
and I think a Sega.
Sega Genesis.
But
right.
my man Dre Oopsie.
Right.
Shout out to Dre.
Drum
He brung a game system to my crib. So I had like 4 game systems in my room, and I was charging jokers to play. I had them running in. I had them running in and out. And
was y'all blowing
the
the tapes and sticking them in the freezer?
Facts. We did all of that.
Put the tape in the freezer, it still works.
Blades of Steel came out at the time, the hockey joint.
That's right.
And that was an expensive video game back then. I think that joint was like $1.25 for the cartridge.
Okay.
So I used to charge jokers $1 to play that.
So they how many games they getting for the $1?
1.
Okay.
Whenever your joint is over, it's over.
Right.
But I used to have cats in my room just playing, and I grinded up like $140-something.
Right.
And I went around, I ain't incriminating nobody. I went to one of the old heads around the corner.
Right.
And I gave him the bread, and he gave me an ounce of regular.
He gave you some Reggie.
Right. And back then, we was selling the number 9 bags for like straight 10.
Right.
So I got that, bagged it up, because my mom got tired of everybody running in and out.
Right.
And I'm seeing all these new Jordans and everything coming out. So that's how I started hustling with the little weed. And
who was the fiend?
Buddy Love. Buddy Love.
Is Buddy still alive? He still alive?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
Right.
I hope he is.
Right.
I hope he is.
Okay,
he was a good dude.
Okay, all right. So that was your introduction to hustling. It seemed like you said you started with a 100-pack, flipped it, and did you keep going from there?
Well, actually, I grinded up a couple thousand. I was a kid. I blew that downtown shopping.
Right.
And on the Gold Grill.
Right, I remember. I had the $10 grill from downtown.
So I had a couple dollars left.
Right.
So back then, grams was going for $25 a joint.
Right.
So I got one. And I sold it, but I only made my money back because I didn't know how to sell it.
Right.
And then he said, "Oh, you doing it wrong." And then he showed me, and that was it.
Okay.
Not to be negative, but this just my story.
Yeah, and this at the You Better Not Lie podcast, we don't hold, we tell everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right, this is the segment of the show called Getting Juicy with Jalene. Jalene got the latest and the greatest hip-hop gossip in these streets. She is beat parked on Beach Street with 4 flats. This is all she do is find the gossip and talk about niggas because she ain't got nothing else to do. So, Juicy, what's going on in these streets?
All right, first we got your boy R. Kelly out here getting his COVID shots in jail. I don't know how he finessed that, but you know, he got both of them too.
Right, I heard he got. How do you go to jail and say I want vaccine 1 and 2 when you straight touching on whatever, man? That's another story. So, are y'all in support of R. Kelly?
I am not.
Y'all not. What you think about R. Kelly? I still bang R. Kelly music.
I mean, he put some good music out, but
he did.
Some of the best.
I ain't with that underage girl shit.
Yeah.
Underage, I'm totally against that.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so what's going on next?
All right, and then we got our boy Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, Tweeze, you
in a bidding war.
Right. Go ahead.
For a Maybach.
For a Maybach.
$2.6 million.
What's that called, Tweeze? Look at your notes.
Lauder Jet.
Okay, all right, cool.
They say people pronounce it different. They call it Lauder Jet, Lauder Let.
Right.
I wasn't say it wrong.
We didn't want to say it wrong. See, you a fashion nova. You a nigga been getting money for a lot of. I knew you would know that word. That's why I put it on there. I put it on you.
People pronounce it different. Like Floyd
620
Mayweather don't say
horsepower.
Maybach. He say my back.
Right.
I mean, so
I mean, he didn't know how to read till not too long ago, barely, right, or something like that. So,
but anyway, like you said, Floyd Mayweather is bidding for this 2009 Maybach that cost $2.6 million. But there's one buyer. I mean, there's one high-end car owner that is in a bidding war with him. So the guy is like, I don't know if I want to sell it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But Floyd wants this car, so you know that's in the news right there. But you think Floyd having $2.6 million to drop on the car, is he bored or what you think?
I think Floyd living his life, man.
Right.
You know, he made a lot of money. Floyd made a lot of investments.
Right.
A lot of people don't know. Floyd got over $1 billion in real estate. A lot of people don't know that. So people say, "Oh, he gonna go broke or he this." If you got multiple streams of income and it's constantly rolling over, they say you ain't got money till you making money while you sleep.
Right.
So when I look at Floyd, I'm motivated. I love it.
All right, that's a fact.
I want 30 Rolls Royces too. But I ain't gonna drive them all. I ain't gonna drive them all. I'm gonna get the keys to some family members and some of my homies.
That's a fact.
Because I want us all coming down.
I know
Not
that's
just
right.
me. You feel me?
All right, so when you do that, and don't forget about me. Just give me a key, all right?
Well, we have to sit some books on the seat.
That's fine.
You know?
Whatever we gotta do, a car seat.
No, a cart.
If you a part of the team, you know, you might end up being a fly girl model.
All right,
you know?
now.
Hey, shameless plug.
Okay.
All right, so what we got
All
going
right,
on
lastly, we got Kobe Bryant's childhood his basketball court from his home sold at an auction.
Right. For how much? $37,200. So Kobe Bryant's basketball court that was at his parents' house.
Yeah, his home.
In PA it went in the auction and they sold it for $37,200. So that's pretty dope. Like just a regular basketball.
Just a regular load that you hang up on your garage.
I mean, Kobe an icon before he passed away.
Right.
When you worth, you get your worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Kobe was worth a couple $100 million. And he not just to see what I liked about Kobe. He kind of was like old school and new school NBA because Kobe didn't flaunt his lifestyle.
He was super humble.
Right. Everything was based around his family and
perfecting his craft.
You know what I'm saying? Murdering you on the court. But Kobe drove Aston Martins and stuff like that. But it got to the point, God bless his soul, he passed away in a helicopter, him and his daughter. It got to the point with Kobe where he wasn't driving because he wanted to make sure his daughter got to school and all that. So he was in the chopper.
Yeah, that's boss.
He was in the chopper. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace, Kobe, man.
Yeah, R.P. Kobe Bryant.
All right, so tell us about Villain Clan.
Oh man, that's
what is that?
VC.
Why parties?
Yeah. It was a project thing. It was all of us from the neighborhood.
Right.
You know, we was just repping the projects.
Right. Tell them about
the
some
boombox
things
on
that,
the shoulder. And
yeah.
What you say?
The boombox on the shoulder.
No, this is Villain Clan is like the Bloods before the Bloods.
Right.
It's like a gang.
It was banging before banging.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you was VC, it was just like being a
well,
blood.
see, West Trent had a couple different crews.
Right.
Right.
You had Villain Clan that was from the projects.
Right.
You had DDH, the Sanheekan Inn of West State. You had Black Top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Lank.
Laurel. They was extended family.
So VC was the biggest one.
Was
y'all like that?
The projects was the deepest, but I ain't gonna hold you.
Right.
Them other crews, they had some riders.
Young Fly.
You know what I'm saying?
Was you jacking that? Like, I mean, that was like
that's the Boulevard.
That's the Boulevard. What I'm saying is
they was G'd up.
Yeah, it was
G's. It was G's in every crew.
Right.
You know, we bump heads with guys like when it got to the point where like it was like the wild parties. Like when we first started going to wild parties, we was teenagers. $5-10 to get in.
Right.
But I know me personally, it got to the point where I was running with the old heads. So when some of my homies was still going to them parties, I was in the trap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was pretty much it for me. Like,
yeah. Who started Villain Clan? Who came up with the name?
My nigga Gold did.
Oh, okay.
Gold did.
Shout out to Gold.
Gold came up with that name, Villain Clan, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So you know, Gold.
It could have been him or Marty.
Nah, it was more so. I'm leaning more towards Gold,
right? Because
Gold was real innovative when it came to stuff like that.
Right, he was.
Know what I'm saying?
He was the first to do a lot.
Marty was like the party starter. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
But were y'all banging with guns then, or it was mostly fighting?
It was
right?
this. You might get poked or hit with something. You know,
definitely got jumped.
My nigga Krim might throw a shopping cart on your head.
Right.
You know.
All right, so listen, at 17 years old, we was talking about this before we went on air, that me being in the city one day, I used to always read the Trenton-Tonian and read the Blotter.
Right.
So in the Blotter, which is a little crime area in our newspaper, it said...
Police Blotter?
That's right, the Police Blotter. It said, man shot in the vicinity of DD's and H&H. I don't know if that was... I was wrong, but was it in that area?
Nah, that was some
newspaper shit.
Yeah. Now I don't want to, you know.
This is 20 years removed. The statute of limitations is over.
Well, that was more so a retaliation.
Okay.
Know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah, so you got shot, right? So and we could talk about this now because it's good for our for kids watching to see how you turn everything around.
Right.
So you getting shot, like, of course, you didn't expect it, but where did you get shot at?
Well, actually, I got shot right here.
Right.
That bullet went in and out, and then I got hit right here.
The same day. It was the same.
Yeah, it was the same incident. The bullet that went in here on my side, I was more chunkier.
Yeah.
So the shell stopped on my fatty tissue.
Right.
It didn't penetrate all the way
Thank
through.
God for that.
Right.
I still got that slug too. I still got it in the jar.
Okay.
I still got it in the jar. Yeah.
So you said that during that time, and the reason why I'm talking, we giving the streets the history.
Right.
We got to show, like, you know, the good side of the streets, the getting the money, the thousands, and then the bad side of it, like, boom, you take a hit like that. Now, you said it was in retaliation, or was it in the middle of?
Well, getting hit, it was a robbery.
For you?
Jokers, it was some old niggas too, like. These niggas was like, they was old school street thugs.
Right.
You know, like when my runner brung them to me.
Right.
You know, I knew of one of them.
Right.
So I was a little uneasy. So I told this young boy, he was from Texas.
Right.
We used to call him Texas.
Right.
Like, yo, go get my slammer.
Right.
So when he brung it back, I put it on my hip. And I'm like, what y'all trying to do? So, you know, they told me what they wanted. So I had the army fatigue joint on.
Right.
So I had the work stashed in my zipper.
Yeah.
And I took out what they wanted, put it on the scale. When I turned around, the old head backed out 38 special on me.
Yeah.
And it was actually a couple days before Christmas. So I had a couple bands in my pocket right here on the coat. So I'm saying to myself, like, man, I ain't giving this nigga shit.
Right.
And
You Better Not Lie podcast.
So I popped off on him.
You stole him.
Yeah, and he let go.
Yeah.
But I grabbed his wrist.
Right.
And he clapped me. This one, like, it was really like a small incision.
Right.
But I was able to brace myself. Like, I turned around. It's like some movie shit.
Right.
and I backed my back on the door. And when I pulled my slammer out, he clapped me right here.
So you didn't get a
So
chance.
my arm went down. So I got off the porch and I started ducking behind the cars. And then I tossed the gun to my man. He got rid of it.
So they didn't get the money.
No, they got the work. They ain't get that paper. They got the work.
We
They
have
ain't
a
get
Christmas
that paper.
this year.
That's what's up. Okay.
That's how I was thinking too, honestly. Like, I got people to look out for.
Right.
Okay, all right. And the next question, part of that question, that was a double question. 17 years old, you found yourself on Rikers Island.
Yeah,
in New York. Tell us about that. How did that happen?
Well, one of my old heads from the hood, shout out to my old head, Reddy Red. He taught me a lot of shit. Reddy Red, when I used to go up top to make my move, it was always a prep. Make sure the paper right, call the plug, yo. We used to do codes, man, the plug. Like, I put in how much I want in the beeper. He'd have everything ready. Everything was fast. It was rush. It was like a whole morning was a rush. So he kept telling me, like, yo, let's park the truck and get on the subway. Because he old school. He was going up New York in the early 80s. Right. They rode the subway and shit like that. So I'm like, nah, man, I ain't had no work in a couple of days. I'm missing a lot of money. So we get up there. I see the connect. I get to work. We jump in it. He like, yo, I'm telling you, let's get on the subway. I'm like, no, we got to get back to the town.
Right. So y'all jumped on the highway.
We jumped in the Lincoln. Because you know back then up there, Lincolns is cabs, town cars. Right. And it was a TNT night. TNT is when undercover cops up in New York back then. I don't know if they still doing it. Yeah. They be out raiding the drug spots. And they had a roadblock on Riverside. Right. They was stopping the cars. And they stopped the Lincoln. They pulled me and him out.
Wow, just out of the blue.
Just pulled us out. And I had 10 ounces of soft in my inside pocket.
Damn. 10 ounces of that soft.
They was like, you know him? I'm like, nah, I never seen him in my life. Right. Know what I'm saying? And they let him go and they booked me. And I went to the island that same night, but it's crazy. I was in Central Booking selling Lucy's for $2.
So even though you got
booked, you still on her.
Because in there they didn't take your cigarettes from you when you went in Central Bookings back then. Yeah. Know what I mean? So
how long did you stay in the island?
I was on the island for like 6 months, 5 or 6 months. Okay. And being that I was a juvenile, I had got 1 or 3. Right. And they sent me to this boot camp shit up there called Shop. Right. I went to that shit.
Okay. So you went to Shock and came home off of that.
Yeah.
But how was it at Rikers?
Back then it was real. Like you had Bloods, but the Latin Kings was running the building. Right. I ain't even gonna front. Like them Poppies had it. Like Bloods was holding it down, but Poppies was in their bag.
Right. Did you cross the C-74, the iconic C-74?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's where Biggie was when he got locked up.
I went through all that. I honestly, the blood shit up there was already heavy. My man, this kid I knew named Diz from Queens. Right. He was 9 Trey. Right. He was trying to bring me home then. Right. I'm like, nah, man, we don't do that where I'm from. We just get money and rep our neighborhood.
That's right.
And he's like, I'm telling you, Jersey, yo, I'm telling you, let me bring you into the life. I'm like, nah. Right. But it's crazy because when I came home, I say a year later, like in 99, Jokers was slowly but surely turning blood. Right. So I probably could have been a triple OG.
Yeah, you could have been big homie for real.
Right.
Nah, big, but yeah.
But the town would have looked at you crazy if you came back at that time trying to be a blood. We wasn't jacking that at all.
The town wasn't off that. The town wasn't off that.
We come from just, divine land.
That's it.
The righteous, the father sinners. So
that's right.
It would have been met with some.
That's right.
Some bullshit. All right. Okay, you got that, Juice.
Y'all got what? You said my question already. We spoke about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. I skipped. It's all good. Tell me about A World and Double Up. Tell me about that.
That era, well, actually, T Mac a little younger than me. That was my man. we used to be in the hallway trapping on the front late night, and I actually it was like a branch off. Like I branched off from the Wild Villain thing,
right?
And I was just knee deep in the trap,
right?
You know. Oh, I always kept jobs too.
Yeah.
I might when I came home from jail. Let's not get it twisted.
Was that your first bid, the records? That's your only bid?
Well,
never
I
been
was in a
upstate?
youth house before, but
okay.
I never did a Jersey bid.
Okay, all right.
I started. I like I said, I had jobs.
Yeah.
But I was getting money.
Right.
T Mac used to be in the building like, Tweeze, listen to this. I'm like, oh, okay, but you know he talking that talk, we talk that street shit.
Right.
So I'm like,
shout
yo,
out to T Mac. That's my
absolutely,
cousin
shout
right
out to
there.
T-Mac. I said, yo, we gonna do a mixtape, me, you, and Kaz.
Right.
And at that time, you know, we was banging.
Right.
You know,
and that's another thing, man. How did you just automatically go from I'm not banging to now when I come through the projects, everybody is sex money murder.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
honestly, I was late doing it.
Right.
I was against it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you outside, you know, you not. I don't care how thorough you is, you ain't gonna beat 200-300 niggas.
Right.
And I said, if I'm gonna do it with where I grew up at. I had a couple other homies that was down with other sets, but they wasn't from the projects. They offered me to get under their hood, but they wasn't from the projects. So
did you have to do 31s?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Because I thought maybe you coming in, getting money, being certified out there, you just like
some
niggas was trying to get in, pay their way in.
Some
but,
niggas did.
Yeah.
Some niggas did. Some niggas had paper, you know. Yeah. They ain't getting no 31, they paid or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I got my 31. I had to go hard in the yard.
Okay, certified.
Yeah.
So, all right, you put a few mixtapes out, and you were featured on several songs of artists all over the city. Why'd you walk away from rap?
Actually, it wasn't a few mixtapes because if you look at...
You had 2 joints with radio, then you're just one.
Now, I did one with radio, but
okay.
Before that, if you look at the whole VC catalog, the Wild Villain, Gold got the whole layout.
Right.
We did all of that.
Okay.
Like, I when Gold first mixtape came out, I sold 400 of his shits on my own.
Right.
This one, we was getting $10 a joint.
Right.
Know what I mean? So
basically put some respect in your name.
Basically. Big facts. Like, respectfully, big facts.
Okay, so you was doing the rap shit for a while. Would you say that you put over 10 mixtapes out?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I was probably involved with over 20, 30 projects.
Okay, all right.
So
whether
why
you
walk
rapping
away?
or not?
Huh?
I said whether you was rapping or not.
Whether I was rapping or not, I was involved.
Okay. I can ask.
So why walk away?
I felt like I was getting too old for it.
How old is too old?
Well,
because we always talk about this. You can't be what?
I can't.
29. Your cutoff is 29.
I can't speak for another rapper, but I could say me. If you, I'm gonna say if you a rapper over 30,
right?
If you got a buzz and a wave already in the following, keep pushing. I salute it, especially if you dope.
Right.
But if you an older dude over 30 and you just jumping in.
So tell Graham
and you not nice and you not musically inclined.
No. Tell Graham to hang that up.
Don't you know good?
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna tell you because Mr. BT, MTV, Source Magazine.
You see how tiny he was? He was like a little.
Listen. Don't. They trying to make me go and tell my whole resume, but finish this story,
a lot of rappers now, like they. You know, when you was a kid, people wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever, a fireman. You got cats now that's in the street. They looking at it like rapping is the new trapping. I could take a bag and put it in this and catch a wave. Mm-hmm. And some of them do. Mm-hmm. But everybody ain't nice.
Everybody ain't nice.
Everybody ain't nice. So, but I respect the hustle more than anything.
Right.
I'm going to respect your hustle first if I see how you moving. Now, if I listen to your music, I might be like, yo, I ain't a big fan of his music, but I respect the come up. Because I know where we all come from. Mm-hmm. And long as you ain't, doing nothing foul to get your wave.
Right. And you co-sign.
And you could take your family out the hood and take care of everybody and help your friends level up. I salute the hustle.
Okay.
All right, this is the segment of the show called Question of the Day. I'm tired of doing the question of the day. So Jamie is gonna take it over today. Jamie, you got something real spicy for the ladies out there and the fellas right there. So tell them what question of the day is all about today.
So Heather Denton from San Antonio. She wants to know from all y'all dudes if a woman is getting good sex. I mean, if a man is getting good sex at home, everything, right? What makes him go out and cheat?
We're going to bring this to my man, TWEEZE. Talk to the street.
Don't ask me. I love my ladies.
Guess what? Guess what?
Right, so
I had a conversation with these ladies yesterday, and I said, when we ask that question on the show, TWEEZE is going to stay so far away from that question.
I love my ladies.
It's not even funny.
Put the camera on Dev.
Put the camera on Dev. Devin Wade, you got anything to say?
I don't got a microphone, bro.
Oh, bro. You on live. They can hear you on this. Okay. Devin had nothing to say because he know Big Mama.
No, okay. So, I mean,
cook
even
us
if you
dinner
don't
tonight.
have, I'm not saying you personally, but like, why then? Like,
Okay.
if you getting everything, like, I just don't understand.
Right. Oh, so you asking a man or you want to bring it to Juicy? The streets want to hear from Juicy.
We want
I'm
to.
not a man.
Us women
No,
want
I
to
know,
know.
but I'm just saying, why do you think men cheat?
Because
Even
they're
though
stupid.
Oh, men are stupid?
Yes.
That's why they cheat even
Yes.
if they got a good thing at home?
Yes, they're stupid.
Okay.
They do stupid
All right,
things.
you know what? Y'all want me to take
Do
this? Let me
anything
take the
for a
reins.
little bit. A
I'll
nice
take the
little
reins.
ass they see.
All right, cool. So they
Oh,
want to
because
know.
one's plumper.
What's her
Like,
name again? Her name is
Heather.
Heather Denton. Heather wants to know why a man cheats if he's getting good sex at home. And I'm going to tell you the real answer.
Nagging.
No, it's not nagging this week. It's not nagging. Honestly, because I'm going to be PG. We not
going to be PG.
You want me
Keep
PG?
it all the way 100.
Keep it
I want
1,000,
to know
why they cheat?
what,
All right, I'm going to keep it all the way G. Some men, because my man TWEEZE is a loyal dude, and he ain't even entertaining none of that shit. But some men have commitment issues.
I can agree with
If
that.
you get a busy man, a lot of women go out there and try to get a busy man, a rich man, a motivated man, a man that's a very handsome man, a very athletic man. He is going to be sought after by other women. Sometimes we can't fight the temptation.
Okay, so you saying it's commitment issues, but it also could be intimidation too, because they might have a woman who got all of what you just said,
And alpha.
and you know what I mean, can stand on her own, and he might feel like he not good enough for her.
Well, he ain't cheating because she not
Why
good
not?
enough for him.
Somebody else gonna make him feel more of a man than she might.
That's true. That can happen too. But I'm telling you from the Ain't Shit Coalition.
So then he's not in, so then he,
coalition.
there is a
then he's not
coalition.
in love. Then
So
he's not in
he's not
love
in-
with her.
Men, listen,
If
one thing
you in
about men.
love-
Let me tell you something about men. In the Bible, it
I
says
feel like a man could love
Hold
you
up.
and still cheat
In
on
the
you.
Bible, it says man is beastly. All right? Or for all my people out there that read the Bible, men are beastly.
Why we gotta take it to church?
Men have some men have a appetite for love, meaning that sometimes they just don't get full off of one woman. I'm
Appetite
sorry.
for lust.
Right. Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's lust.
when you could become disciplined
Because-
is when you are a real man. That's what I'm saying. But it's hard. It's hard out here to
Okay,
become
but say at a
disciplined.
certain point in time, like say you already had all your fun and you say
For
you
instance, you've been there, done that. Man, what's going on?
Hey, bro, Lamar is the same age as me. I'm the LAL, the A and the R. What? Lamar, long Lamar is me and him went to high school together. For real. But
I'm
anyway,
saying, so you an adult, you're a grown man, you got
Right.
kids, all that stuff,
Right.
and you're in love with somebody at home. Why give in to temptation?
okay, hold up. My
let's
man
hear
Red
from the
Graham.
viewers.
Shout out to my man Red Graham. He from Pemberton. He said the sex might be good, but the mental might not be. So
why
guess
are
what?
you with a woman?
Shut up, Juicy.
No, why
There's
are you
a
with a
song for
woman
this.
who is not meant to like?
They say the sex is good, but her brain is not ready. So here we go. Shout out my nigga Red.
But why
That's
would you
a
make
perfect
somebody?
answer.
Why would you make? Being as though you talk to this person, why
Right.
would you make her your girl if the only thing she got to
Locking
offer
you
is
down.
sex?
We locking
Hey,
you
yo.
down.
What you mean? You can fuck her
Hey,
anytime
Why?
you want.
trying to lock
You
you
can
down.
fuck her
Because guys
whenever
are
you
so
want.
insecure.
can
try to lock
They
you
don't want
down.
nobody else
You
having
know,
you. That's
nobody's
what it is.
getting those buns. If I mean, if I say, yo, this is some
But
good
as
buns.
long as you got good dick, she gonna keep coming back for more.
Well, I mean,
So
that's
I
true.
mean, that's not true. So I mean, like,
Because they don't
Listen.
know. They're just immature. That's it.
yeah.
Listen. All right, so I'm about to bust y'all bubble right here. Y'all know
Come
how
on,
y'all keep
Pat,
talking about men
listen.
ain't shit. How come when niggas go to Maury, he's not the father?
Because y'all was playing.
So guess what that means? Y'all cheat too.
Nobody said
90% of the men on Maury, it's all
only gonna cheat if she feels something for
oh
that
my
guy.
God. If your mama cheat, you cheat.
If your mama cheat,
It's in your DNA to cheat.
So
Your mama's a cheater. She was messing with Frankie at work for 22 years. It's in your DNA, it's in your pores.
So your mama was a cheater?
My mama cheated?
Straight from
Don't
Trenton?
you talk about Brenda. Brenda, get off the live. They talk about you. No, my mama she in the church. Now, I'm sure my mama did her thing when she
people
was
in
young.
the church cheat too.
The pastor's cheating. Never mind. I'm not even
All right, cool. All right, so we talked about
right.
that. Leave it in the comments. Do you think that if a man is getting everything he wants from his woman at home, why does he need to go out there and find other rabbit holes to stick his carrot in?
All right, now
Why he need to do that?
Let's get away from that
maybe
because
because
question
it's a little carrot.
and let's go back to you. What inspired you to start your own clothing line,
Right.
and why the name FLYBOI?
I always liked the fashion since I was a kid. We had a musical movement called FLYBOI, Fifth Ave Boys.
Right.
And when I stopped doing music, I was like, I sat on it for a couple years, the idea. I said, you know what? I'm going to name the clothes FLYBOI. But FLYBOI is more of the acronym.
Yeah.
The name of the company is my last name, which is Harrington. So it's Harrington & Co. The FLYBOI thing, it came from the music. Because we fly dudes. Like, we fly at heart.
Right.
And we dress fly.
Right.
So, you know.
And I will say these.
Hey,
Right,
yo,
yeah.
I wanna shout everybody out that's on my live, too.
Please,
I appreciate
please,
y'all
go ahead,
tuning
go ahead.
in.
Shout them all out.
Appreciate y'all.
Tell them niggas to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel and support what we trying to do for the city of Trenton, man.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Jersey,
make sure y'all
period, man.
subscribe to You Better Not Lie podcast.
Facts. Y'all niggas
Make sure
push
y'all
us to the
subscribe.
1,000. We on our way. When we get to the 1,000, don't try to act like you know me then.
Right, because he is treating us bad right now.
Don't act like you know me. All right, so FLYBOI Clothing, you came up with that and you said it's because y'all some fly niggas and I'm going to put some respect on your name. You the first nigga I know doing Pradas. First nigga I seen doing Balenciagas. And I would be like this, tweeze them is hot. I'm going to get me a pair. You said, these 1,300. I said, I'm not getting a pair. You know what I'm saying?
No
And
doubt.
then you would double back and go back up to Fifth Ave and get another pair.
Absolutely.
And I just said, God damn, I'm going downtown to get me some Air Force Ones and Jordans.
Well, you know
what I mean?
you know, like I said, man, like West Trenton dudes, like I ain't dissing no other side of Trenton, but I always felt West dudes was fly as dudes.
God damn, God damn.
You know, that's how I always felt. Like, we go back to the 80s.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Dapper Dan era.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so,
Right.
you know, you had fly cats from the projects, Stuyvesant. Some of they old heads are super fly.
Right.
Know what I'm saying?
So being as though you started your clothing line, do people actually like support you?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I get a lot of love. It's,
Like-
yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't be like, let me get a discount.
I mean, of course you gonna get that. You know
Can
what
I
I'm saying?
get,
But
can
you
I get
question,
half
Juicy.
off the
you,
sweatshirt?
yeah, you got to know how to work with your people, though.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna walk up on me and I know you get into crazy paper in the trap and try to water me down and Jew
Right.
me down either.
Right.
But for the most part, I look out.
Yeah.
You know, if you spend a couple of dollars, I'm gonna take care of you.
And I must say, the entire city of Trenton is wearing FLYBOI. Now, we come from a city where it's broken down into 4 sections.
Right.
West, east, north, and south, right? Niggas out east, west, north, and south. I'm seeing everybody and their mama with FLYBOI clothing on. Before, we ain't even get along with other sides of Trenton.
Right.
Now you see other people in different hoods wearing your material. Every time I see that on the gram or Facebook or if I'm in town and I'm like, damn, shorty pushing a stroller with a FLYBOI hat on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just showing me your impact
Right.
in the city. You know what I mean? And I salute you on that because you always been a hustler. And you told me like, yo, what I'm doing with clothing is how I used to attack the streets.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
When you hit the block, you got to get some samples out.
Right.
The first time you came up with your T-shirts, here you go, auntie. Here you go, little man.
Right.
And all they gonna do is a walking billboard. Where you get that from? Oh,
Right.
it's Tweeze shit.
That's right.
And then it spread like that.
That's right.
So is
Know
it
what I
all
mean?
bright colors?
No,
I know all of our stuff.
It's different styles.
You got a lot
like
of nice stuff. I follow you on Instagram. So.
Right. Those sweatshirts y'all got on, that was a 90s inspired Adidas sweatshirt I had back then.
I know its material is nice.
Yeah, thank you. I
like it.
But yeah, that was
this is an extra small,
Adidas inspired.
So know.
If you need that FLYBOI clothing, please follow my boy TWEEZE at FLYBOI Clothing on IG. And they not cheap. Don't think you coming on there for a $10 sweater or a $10 t-shirt. Because TWEEZE told me it's the material.
Yeah, we definitely
That's what you're paying for, the material.
It does give me Adidas vibes though.
We definitely if you know you do your research, that's definitely inspired from Adidas.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely ain't pulling up on me with that light paper. Like I'm giving out quality, so
okay.
You know.
All right, so what are some barriers? Because you just didn't start a clothing line and everything was smooth. Are there any barriers, meaning any obstacles you had to face starting this?
I'm still going through obstacles. Like when I first started, I started out like anybody else. Like I was buying bulk t-shirts, bulk sweatshirts, all that stuff. And I always try to get my artwork from local artists in the city.
Right.
That's what's up.
I used the guy before, Cy Mosquiat, the artist / clothing designer out of Philly.
Right.
He did some first artworks for me, some ideas. I shot him. He put it together for me. That was like start off.
Right.
But then I start, sticking more to artists from Trenton.
That's dope.
So this
that's hot.
This from somebody.
I like how it raised.
Matter of fact,
fake
shout out to my
embroidered.
young boy Static Kev. He a graffiti artist.
Okay.
Static Kev, he actually did this by hand. He drew this out, the colors and everything.
Right.
And then I took it to get processed on a computer to actually get embroidery and other screen printing jobs done with this particular design.
So is it safe to say you don't buy any designer or anything no more?
What?
I'm just saying because think about it. You have your own now.
I mean, yeah.
Can we see FLYBOI sneakers coming?
No.
It's never gonna happen.
No. You gonna always, catch me in some raw designer sneakers and with the belt runner. Everything else might be FLYBOI, but outside of this, the sneakers and the belt, FLYBOI, but them sneakers and them belt got to be the latest fire that's out.
Right. Shout out Nashville, Tennessee. My man Corso Dreddy tapped in. Shout out Queens, New York. My man Rob from Queens is tapped in right now. He's also another clothing designer. He has a company called My Brother's Keepers. We wore that on the last show. Remember the black tees that we had? We wear so much shit. Juicy got a
I'm
stare,
like,
cool.
what?
Drink some coffee.
Got a whole
But shout out to
wardrobe.
Queens. Shout out to Nashville, Tennessee. James Pat Peterson just said, Big TWEEZE.
What up, though?
Yeah. So niggas know what's going on. There's a whole lot of Trent shit, whole lot of West shit. Feel how you feel. Anyway, all right, cool. All right, so what other brands do you see moving out there?
Oh,
in the
man.
city?
Man.
Shout them out.
Yo, you got Moscani, Splash Life,
Right.
Corey Daniel.
Right.
You got my man Dre Drum with the Jew Gooder.
Right.
You got Swavy Customs.
Right.
You got the kid Pack that do custom shit.
Right.
You got the girl Courtney Simone.
Right.
She do customs and she do like graduation dresses and prom dresses.
What about my man with the fluffy slippers for the girls and stuff? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you talking about Marquis London.
Yeah.
My man, that's my man. He got fire.
Right.
That's my man. He got fire.
Okay, right.
Like everybody I name, like they moving.
Right.
Like, believe it or not, yo, Trenton got a lot of inspiring clothing brands and music artists.
Right.
So we talking about arts, the town in a bag, man.
Yeah,
if I didn't say a brand name, I didn't forget you. Everybody in a bag.
Right. That's lit. All right. What do you see at Harrington Company in the next 5 years? Like, you know what I mean?
Going up.
Okay. Do you
Going
see
up.
like having a building, having a boutique or that type of vibe? Or like,
I don't want a boutique.
right.
I'm more into inventory. So
Okay.
I would rather just have a warehouse.
Right.
Like I got a space now, on the low.
Yeah.
you know, little small warehouse vibes.
Right.
You know, but I'd rather just have like a nice little warehouse look, you know, little desk set up for me and whoever working in there. Okay. I don't want no boutique. I want you to be able to come in and experience the clothing, try it on, because I don't like people leaving unhappy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, shipping stuff out. You know?
How much do you ship a day? Like, do you?
Right now the online store is being built.
Okay.
It's practically 90% done.
Yeah.
There's a couple more things I got to do, but I get people from Trenton that live in other states. I had people that I don't know that, you know, they cashed at me the money and I mailed it out. So I get mail outs here and there. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. Right. A lot of support I get is boots on the ground.
Yeah.
But I do get mail outs. But I know once the online store go up, with marketing behind it, whole nother level.
And another thing I like is that your packaging, how you package your clothing is always professional.
Absolutely.
Like from the T-shirts, they shrink wrap with the plastic, they fold it correctly. Even the hood, the sweatshirts we had today, they nice in a zip bag. It just says next level. It says high-end streetwear.
Well, you know,
they're not laying in somebody's in the trunk or
it's not. It is what it is.
Oh, don't diss the trunk now.
No, I'm
she
saying
don't know about that. When you from Cherry Hill and everybody gave you something and you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth, you don't know about the trunk.
Dang, I don't know who did that.
Shots fired.
I pull up on your block with the trunk lit.
That's what I'm talking
about. No, but I'm saying they're not just all balled up in your trunk.
That's
like,
right.
You know
I know. I'm just messing with you.
But first of all, no, I ain't grow up with no silver spoon.
Right now,
okay.
But guess what?
But
my cash app booming.
Your corny ass Trenton side. He already done said it.
Shots fired.
He done already said it. But anyway,
it's all good.
It's about you.
All right. So get the people your social media, man. Listen, this has been dope. Anytime I get to tap in with my guys from the city, and I know you moving, man. You making a shitload of money out there on the clothing, and I wanted to bring you up here because it's just some different shit. It's not really rap driven. It's strictly business. You know, I look at you more like a Hove, like how you conquered the streets. And now, you know, you got some college under your background. You got tenure at your job. Let me talk my shit.
Right.
You just purchased that big home somewhere in the mountains.
Right.
Let me talk my shit.
Hey, man.
We from the dirt.
Yeah, we is. We come from the hood,
man.
He's still there.
I'm sorry, man.
You know,
we from Roaches is in the flower at night. What you know about that?
At the end of the day,
said you still got him.
You still there.
At the end of the day, man, I'm still pushing, man. I'm still learning. I be inspired by big people and people on my level.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of the dopest ideas come from people who ain't rich.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I'm inspired by it all.
That's right. So get a fans your social media. Let them know where, if they want to cop some of your designs, where can they go to see it? Because now I want you to do this show so you could go up. Niggas from everywhere is tapping in, buying shit, and you call me and say, man, I made $300-400 the day I left the show. That's love.
You could I don't like Facebook, so I don't have a Facebook.
Right.
You could get at fly.boy.clothing at fly.boy.clothing.
Right.
On Instagram, and boy is with an I. Or you could get at me at Bentley_Tweezy on my personal Instagram.
That's a fact.
Once again, I'll tell you could get at me at Bentley_Tweezy on Instagram, or you could go to my FLYBOI clothing Instagram page. That's at fly.boy.clothing. And the boy got an I on the end.
All right, so listen, the last segment of the show today, we got a new segment. We got Dropping Jewels with Jamie, where Jamie's going to give you the word of the day. On the out, she's going to give you something positive, something motivating, something to change your life, even if she stole the quote.
We can't always be ratchet, you know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
So I did have a quote yesterday that I pulled from Bob Marley that I thought was nice.
Right.
But I changed it up.
Let's get it.
So this word has been like surfacing in my head for like a week now. Intentional. Do you even know what that means?
Intentional?
Yes.
I mean, speak to the people.
Let's hear.
Speak to the people. I got a college degree. Don't
Let's
put
hear,
no
Graham.
disrespect. Intentional?
Yes, intentional.
Intentional means, right? To let me get the ghetto dictionary. Intentional means to do something on purpose.
Yes, deliberate.
That's right.
And I'm big on this. I'm big on like walking with a purpose.
Right.
And no matter what you do, it always should be intentional. So tips for living intentional. Your time is the most valuable asset, right?
That's a fact.
You can't get that back.
Right.
So always guard your time wisely. So choose what you spend your time doing, whether it's reading, whether it's exercise, like meditating, like declutter your mind, breathe, like
work out.
Spend time with Long
Yes.
Lamar.
Yeah, we not gonna be
choose
doing
the
this.
listen. Right. The company you choose, you need to be intentional with the company you choose. Like all that negative energy, like get rid of that. If it's not serving a purpose, you need to kind of get rid of it.
Right. All right, that's dope. This is episode 25. You can bullshit with rap if you want. With my homeboy, Tweezy, FLYBOI Clothing. Put some respect on his name, because it's Harrington Company. That sound rich, don't it, Harrington?
It actually does.
Sound like he inherited something.
Hey, yo,
Millions.
I could give a shout out. A couple
Yeah,
shout
go
outs.
ahead.
Yo, I want to give a shout out to my son, Little Bill.
Right.
Hey.
He on the come up. I want to shout out my man Locks, man. My boy FLYBOI, man.
That's
Lil
my
Gotti, man.
Shout out to Locks,
That's my
Ron
dude right there,
O'Neal.
man. And shout out to my hood, man. Shout out to the whole town.
That's right.
All the artists, all the entrepreneurs, all the clothing designers, clothing companies, rappers,
That's a fact.
everybody, real estate people, landscaping, everybody,
all
man.
the
Shout out
food
to everybody in
spots
the town
too.
Big
all the,
facts.
All
All the
food
black
spots.
businesses.
all
That's
the
true.
black
That's
and Hispanic businesses.
That's right.
I mean, shout out to the whole town.
Right. And we out of here, episode 25.
Hey.
Gang shit.